a sad update that is coming through. Well, we're having Namibia's President Hage Geingob, pardon me for the wrong pronunciation, has died while receiving medical treatment at a hospital in the capital, Windhoek. Vice President Nangolo Mbumba announced that Mr. Hage had died in the early hours of Sunday morning. The 82-year-old leader had been diagnosed with cancer and revealed his diagnosis to the public last month. His office announced he would be traveling to the U.S. for treatment, but would return to Namibia on 2nd February. Mr. Hage became president in 2015 and was serving his second and final term in office. He underwent an aortic operation last year, and in 2014 he revealed that he had survived prostate cancer. Namibia is due to hold presidential and parliamentary elections in November. The governing Swampo Party, which has been in power since independence in 1990, has chosen Mrs. Nandi Ndaitwah as its presidential candidate. She is currently also Namibia's deputy prime minister and will become the country's first female president if she wins. Well, a sad update, truly. May his soul rest in eternal peace. And we shall be updating you as a national broadcaster. But in two other activities, we're having President Museveni saying the government cannot pay good salaries to public servants if there is no social economic transformation in societies. The president made the remarks while officiating at the closure of a 2-week-long transformational patriotism course for 413 secondary schools. School head teachers from Western Uganda, Mubende and Kasanda districts at National Leadership Institute in Chankwanzi. President Museveni urged that if families undergo socio-economic transformation, they create jobs, people get income, and they will be able to pay taxes. The First Lady and Minister of Education and Sports, Mama Janet Museveni, appreciated President Museveni for his continuous guidance to the education sector and his availability whenever they call on him to facilitate their capacity building programs.
And contribute positively to national development. Your Excellency, you have always emphasized that one of the bottlenecks to development is an undeveloped human resource, a problem that must be addressed in order for us to attain a knowledgeable, skilled, and patriotic population. Furthermore, Your Excellency, as you are aware, the Minister of Education and Sports is charged with the responsibility for human resource development for our country.
I had calculated some time ago, I think it is like 370 years. You can calculate it. How many years from 1498 to 1862, when Huntington Speke came here? It is 307, almost 400 years. Danger is coming. You are hearing about it, but you are doing nothing about it. So, the Europeans came and conquered this whole place. I think you must have studied this in the political history. By 1900, the whole of Africa had been colonized. And when they came, they had now, because between 1400 and 1900, we had the problem of the kings making us fight among ourselves instead of uniting us. When the Europeans came and conquered them, they came and captured them like grasshoppers because they were busy fighting one another. They tried to fight, but it was too late. Kabarega, Mwanga, and even the other kings in South Africa, they tried, they couldn't, because they had divided our people. They talk about technology, But technology of the European that time was not really very advanced. In Ethiopia, the Ethiopian king Menelik defeated the Italians. In 1896, he defeated them. So if they had been united and more organized, even with spears and arrows, they could have defeated those guns, because the guns of that time were not that efficient. So the main problem was division. And if you see, the army which captured Kabarega was not a European army. Europeans were very few. It was Baganda being used by the British who were doing most of the work. It was African on African fight. It was the Europeans were just the mobilizers. So therefore, between 1400 and 1900, you have the problem of the tribalism fomented by the kings.
From state activities, we're seeing President Museveni witnessing the signing of a memorandum of understanding between the government of Uganda and the Lng Technology Corporation and Shiftings Limited at State Lodge Nakasero. The memorandum that aims at promoting environmental protection and sustainable development in Uganda was signed on behalf of the government by the Minister of State for Environment, Honorable Beatrice Atimanywa, together with her Permanent Secretary, Mr. Alfred Okoto-Kidi, as well as the Deputy Attorney General Jackson Kafunzi. The Chief Executive Officer of Lng, Ms. Wu Ying, signed on behalf of her company in the presence of her chairman, Mr. Song. The Chief Executive of Shiftings Limited, based in Nairobi, Kenya, Mr. Shakalanga Kwajirongo, signed on behalf of his company in the presence of the country's representative, Mr. Joseph Mwamba. The signing ceremony was also attended by the Ambassador of China to Uganda, His Excellency Zhang Lizong. According to the Permanent Secretary, Minister of Environmental Protection, Mr. Alfred Okoto-Kidi, Lng Technology Corporation and associates intend to explore the possibility of setting up a platform in Uganda that will be used to create a carbon exchange for trading carbon, not only in Uganda but also for the rest of Africa. Good to know you're still watching the weekly news roundup. The Prime Minister Robin Nabanja has appealed to Ugandans to start doing communal development work, Bulungi Bwansi, for sustainable development. Nabanja made the calls on Saturday afternoon when she joined residents of the two districts of Mubende and Kakumiro to work on Nyamungunza River that connects Mubende and Kakumiro districts.
Nabanja says that Ugandans should start doing community development work Bulungi Bwansi because most infrastructure put up by government goes to waste because of lack of maintenance. The Premier adds that most Ugandans have given up on Bulungi Bwansi, yet it contributes a lot in maintaining roads in the country.
Tuinda kulora ngune tukwataniza na government kukora Bulungi Bwansi. Haro government byeta kusobola kukora mu bwangu. Atike kisaru kinu government ebayitaka bayire kujja kukikora. batunywa abataka mwebale kwija tukekwatiramu kati tukikozire standard ya maani mweterero mu ngalo na bwesonga eyo na nyencha tulaba tubesere mugaruke na kiro kiri bwe tulabeta mukole ki bitukwataniza hamu tukusakole ebintu bingi.
The Kakumiro Resident District Commissioner, Major David Matovu, says that the community is playing a great role in working on Nyamaguza River crossing.
Atenga budget tutulina amaze gakendedde Prime Minister n'asalawo nga ye ng'omuntu n'amobilizinga ebisoboka ng'amayinja ne tugalonda ne tugaleeta aggregate n'agagula ku ssente ze sementi mitayimbwa n'asabirako ebyuma bya disitulikiti n'asabayo n'obuyambi ku minisitule ya wakisi naddala biweetiiye ne batuwaayo n'abakugu ne bajja wano tuli mu kwekamba. Prime Minister omulengera atudde wali eno ofiisi ya namba 2 bw'ava e Kampala atuukira wano mulimu gwa maanyi. Olwaleero nnaku lwa bulungi bwansi abato abakulu abakyala bonna bali wano buli muntu akwatako kyasobola.
Local leaders, led by the Kibijo Sub-County District Councillor John Bogere, lauded government for the quick intervention to work on their road.
Abataka bali n'amashemererwa menshi cyane abwokuba ndetse n'icyo abwokuba iki gisaro cyari kibafitiye umugaso munini. Ibirimwa bimwe byaheze hari abantu baturukaga muri Mubende bahinga muri Gakumiro abo ntibakibasha gutambura, ariko ubu ngubu bamaze gukora hano igisaro ubu abantu bari n'amasemererwa menshi kuko bagiye gufuna uburyo basarura ibirime byabo mu idembe.
Gona galimani ga Prime Minister waitu nitukwataniza hamwe naitu abataka ngeri ya leba ekyo nkisimire muno tinderekaho kusima government yaitu na muno wekitinisa President waitu Yoweri Kaguta Museveni habwo kutukomera omukazi ogwo kandi omukazi ogwo nataraka Uganda yona emirimo gyakukora mali okuragira mingi muno.
Government plans to introduce a policy for the community to start engaging in communal development work Bulungi-Bwansi for the good of infrastructure. Nyamaguza River crossing connects Mubende and Kakumiro districts and is a major source of income for the people in the two districts. Once completed, it will help to foster service delivery in education, health and socio-economic transformation.
In other updates, reproductive system diseases dominate Tarahesita medical camps across Busega sub-region as Uganda Peoples Defense Force medical team offers free medical services in Namutumba and Abujiri districts respectively. An overwhelming number of patients was treated by the UPDF medical team at Nsinza Hospital and Invulunku Health Center 4 in Namutumba district and Nankoma Health Center that is in Bujiri district.
1,000 patients have been given free medical services at Nsinze Hospital, Ivuluka Health Center 4, Nankoma Health Center 4, Buluguya Health Center 3, in Bujiri and Namutumba districts. UPDF medical team is offering free general medicine, sickle cell screening, dental, eye care, and free safe male circumcision.
Heading team 4 of voluntary medical male circumcision that is working in the areas of Iganga and Rubwere. So far we have worked on 250 clients and people are yearning for the service because of its medical benefits.
Nakalama Health Center 3, I've really taken this opportunity to appreciate for the tremendous work.
The team leader of Tarehe activities in Namutumba and Bujiri districts, Lieutenant Colonel Dr. Lawrence Basaliza, observed that reproductive system diseases remain the most common among women in Busoga sub-region.
From the Tale or the tallying books, infections of women are more than those of men. What do I mean women? Infections in the reproductive system. They are more here. I don't know what is the cause, but somebody may do research and tell us why. Yeah.
The medical outreach camp is organized by Uganda Peoples Defense Forces, a part of the CIMIC activities to mark the 43rd Tarehe Sita and Defense Forces Army Week in Busoga sub-region.
So about 600 people, and I think it will be the same number because people here are focused. They are not just coming because we are here. They are coming because they are sick. So what you see here is a patient. They are not those who are coming because they are coming to look for what? First aid. They are coming to be treated. So I believe these are genuine patients. And indeed, when you work on them, they go.
Haruna Mtesasila, UBS News.
Still related to the same conversation to do with Tarehe Sita, we're seeing the Tarehe Sita mobilization team leader in Uganda District, Colonel Davis Rangonga, saying that the people of Busoga were central in providing space for the establishment of the first cells of the Front for National Salvation. This as the UPDF prepares to celebrate the 43rd Tarehe Sita Day.
Colonel Rangonga observed that Tarehe Sita is a celebration of the birth of ideological cohesion between the army and the people as they demonstrated their capabilities to work together in the liberation struggle against bad governance and promotion of security.
Otherwise, how would, without that cooperation between the civilians and the army, how would 44 younger men with the 27 guns manage to overthrow a government which was sectarian and which lacked the proper ideological orientation? So Tarehe Sita here in Iganga, we are giving back to the people.
According to Colonel Rangonga, the team in Iganga has during the week engaged in comprehensive sanitation activities in the markets, construction of a 2-classroom block, market stalls, free medical treatment at Namungalwe Health Center 3, Nakalama Health Center 3, Iganga General Hospital, and renovated the graveyard of late Major General Samuel Nanyumba.
The people of Busoga in general and Iganga in particular played a key role in the defeat of the notorious Alice Lakwena in October 1987. Lakwena had ravaged northern Uganda and eastern Uganda, but it is here in Busoga, with the support of the civilians, that Lakwena was decimated and her Holy Spirit movement totally destroyed with the support of the Wananchi. We should also know that the Busoga and Eastern Ugandans and the people of Eastern Uganda in general played a key role in the formation of the first series for NASA, the Front for National Salvation.
Anthony Slingisi, the chairman of Namungalwe Town Council in Iganga, said, as a council, they are grateful to the UPDF for constructing a market stall and said they welcome any hand from the UPDF in setting up infrastructure in the town council. He commended Wazalendo Sacco for training and equipping SACCOs in the area with expert knowledge on financial literacy and SACCO management. Relatedly, the family of Letting Koko appreciated the UPDF for renovating their family home and said they are proud to be associated with the revolutionaries.
Veterans have been asked to embrace government programs like agriculture and the parish development model, among others, that are aimed at improving their livelihood. This was communicated by State Minister for Veteran Affairs, Hudu Oleru, during a meeting with members of various veteran circles in Mubende district.
Over 40 veteran circles in Mubende district have met with the State Minister for Veteran Affairs, Hudu Oleru, in a meeting held at Kabamba Military Farm in Mubende. During the meeting, the veterans raised concern over issues affecting them, including the long process SACCO members have to go through to receive funds for farming.
Here the government releases funds late, and this interrupts in planning of our activities. And the veteran SACCO has no store as per now. We are located in places hard to reach. We lack road networks, especially when we are harvesting our maize.
We really love, and we have tried our level best to do what we were supposed to do. But now this disbursements is totally making us fail.
Other challenges include lack of water source for wetlands to use and poor load network to connect them to the main load.
We also mentioned about water. For us, we are suggesting to have a dug water.
However, Minister for Wetland Affairs Huda Erero pledged to address their concerns, saying some solutions are in pipeline.
They are facing the challenges of road access. Indeed, government is going to help them to open the roads. The good thing where they are, that is a government land, that is army land. It is UPDF that has given this land for the veterans to use.
Minister Huda also highlighted on the ongoing process of helping veterans in the country through their circles.
And we are trying to see, for the immediate solution, we will help them to put crypts so that they invest their maize and put in the crypts for a better storage. So
the veterans were urged to embrace government programs aimed at improving their livelihoods.
Even the new veterans, those ones who have just retired, let them go and join their colleagues who are already there so that we make these circles grow. In fact, a circle is a number. The more number of members you have in a circle, the sustainability you are guaranteed of. So one of the areas where they can be part is involving themselves in commercial agriculture. That's why they have been brought on board to be part of the food and feed program.
The ministers' meeting with members of veteran circles in Mubende district came at a time when the National Resistance Movement awaits to celebrate the Resita Day. That will be held in Bugweri district on 6 February 2024. Deborah Namamonde, Michael Bakabulindi, UBC News.
Justice Boniface Wamala has issued a permanent injunction restraining Uganda Law Society Council from any further breach of its act and election regulations by nominating society representatives to statutory organizations without being voted for by the members. The case was filed by lawyer Stephen Kalali, who accused Uganda Law Society for violating members' rights by not giving them an opportunity to express their rights as per the Society Act and the regulations to elect representatives to statutory organizations. Members of Uganda Law Society have welcomed the judgment.
There should be a representative from Uganda Law Society. The same when you go to Makerere University, there should be a representative from Uganda Law Society. Now when you go to the Capital Markets Authority, the Act provides that the board shall constitute a representative from Uganda Law Society. The same applies to the Media Council, which governs the members of the Fourth Estate. The board is supposed to be incorporated with a representative from Uganda Law Society. So these positions are statutorily provided for. It's not that Uganda Law Society provides for them, no. The various laws that constitute these bodies are the ones that give a provision for a representative from the Uganda Law Society to sit or be a member of that particular board. I'm happy with the decision, though partly I'm a bit not okay with it because whereas the judge said that most of these representatives were there or nominated illegally, he ought to have declared now those offices vacant because these people are there illegally, they were not elected by us. So most of the statutory representatives that we have are the Judicial Service Commission, Capital Markets Authority, Makerere University, the Media Council, we have on the Anti-Pornographic Committee. All these are affected by the decision because they are holding those offices illegally. But the judge has somehow held that coming in the futuristic, we should not have that act repeated again by the Society Council. So that means as of now, they can keep in their offices. But future ways, we can't have that.
We have had challenges and complaints from these boards, whereby you find a member has been on this board for more than 5 years. Even some members have become permanent members to these boards. So complaints have been made. Presidents, they talk to each other. Even the former presidents, they talk to each other, and they keep their members onto those boards. So complaints have been so everywhere over this thing. So we're glad that the judgment came out. saying that we should, all members should have an opportunity to elect people they want to fill these boards.
In other news, the government has started piloting a plan to integrate rehabilitation and assistive technologies into healthcare service systems to increase functionality of persons with disabilities. Health Minister Dr. Jane Ruth Acheng handed over 3,707 assistive technologies to Lira District and Lira City to pilot the initiative that is supported by the US aid, that is Rehabilitation.
Only a small fraction of Ugandans with rehabilitation needs is believed to access proper care. Concerningly, the number of people who require rehabilitation is projected to increase due to rising incidences of non-communicable diseases and accidents. A rapid assessment done by Rehabilitation put the demand for assistive technology at 25.5%, with the unmet need at 21%, translating to over 12 million people in need of assistive technology.
The burden of people with disability is huge. I don't know their population offhand, but you all are aware that the people with disability, their numbers also keep on increasing, because you can get a disability following a road traffic accident, you can get a disability following a disease problem, or you can be born with a disability. So the numbers keep on increasing every year.
Government, in partnership with USAID Rehabilitation, now wants to integrate rehabilitation and assistive technologies into the healthcare service system. This is intended to ease access to the recommended technology after a thorough assessment.
So at a national level, we are supporting the development of a national rehabilitation and assistive technology strategic plan with the Ministry of Health. And that is aimed at least putting a policy framework for supporting rehabilitation services in the country. At the regional and district level, we are supporting at the primary health care level the integration of rehabilitation and assistive technology, so that it's an integrated function like any health services offered.
At least 3,707 devices were handed over to Lira District and Lira City to extend rehabilitation services to the last mile. The devices include crutches, white canes, tripod, walking frames, toilet and shower chairs, and their accessories.
Like we all know, the growing need for rehabilitation with the growth of non-communicable diseases, with the growth of incidences of so many accidents in Uganda, and so many causes that make people non-functional. So this activity is aimed at strengthening the functionality of the population, so that the more we have more functional people in the country, the more productive definitely as a country that we become.
Now, this was a follow-up of an activity that we started last year. However, the way it was designed last year was that the devices would be handed over to facilities, and then people with disability would go and get it from there. But our fear was that persons with disability would not get these devices. They would either be sold off, or if people went there to get them, they would be asked to pay money. So we requested the DHOs and the city medical officer and the district health officer to identify these people within the communities using the village health teams. They did that. We have their list, and right now they are receiving their assistive devices. With that, we are 100% sure that the devices have gone to the rightful people.
The minister also handed over a mobile clinic truck and x-ray machine to fight TB prevalence in the region, and 1,000 reflector jackets to Lira City border riders to curb the escalating accident cases.
UBC Weekly News Roundup. The African Union Transition Mission in Somalia, with logistical support from the United Nations Support Office in Somalia, has completed phase 2 drawdown, which involved reducing the troop count by 3,000 soldiers. ATMIS transferred 7 forward operating bases to the federal government of Somalia and closed 2 others.
The forward operating bases transferred include State House and Parliament from ATMIS Uganda Peoples Defense Forces in Sector 1, Bayokadel, Ragasil, Quirol from ATMIS Burundi National Defense Forces in Sector 5, Buruhash from ATMIS Kenya Defense Forces in Sector 2, and Old Airport from ATMIS Ethiopia National Defense Forces in Sector 6 were also taken over by Somali National Army. At a ceremony in Mogadishu, several agreements were signed to mark the official transfer of control from ATMIS to the federal government of Somalia. ATMIS Force Commander Lieutenant General Sam Okiding lauded exceptional teamwork by the drawn-down tripartite committee, ATMIS, federal government of Somalia, and United Nations support in Somalia for successfully completing both Phase 1 and 2.
After 5,000 today, our next target is 4,000, which we are all preparing for June. And I know and I believe it will be a success as well, because again, we are together. Failure is not for us.
Several partners, including representatives from the United Nations, witnessed the handover ceremony where they reaffirmed their commitment to supporting ATMIS and the federal government of Somalia throughout the transition process.
The success of the handover of the FOB is a testament to the will of the federal government of Somalia and the commitment of ATMIS to support the FGS. For UNSOS, there remains unwavering commitment for FGS and for ATMIS to continue forward. And we hope with this we can start the planning for the Phase 3 drawdown and take this forward together.
Somalia's National Security Advisor Hussein Sheikh Ali thanked the African Union, the United Nations and national partners for their sacrifice and dedication in pursuit of peace and security in Somalia.
Moving on, a total number of 140 members of the Forum for Democratic Change, FDC, and National Unity Platform, NUP, in Bukonzo County East in Kasese District have crossed over to the ruling National Resistance Movement, NRM party. They cite government's role in bringing different projects nearer to them and the peace and security the country is enjoying as their major reasons for the crossover. These new NRM party members were received by the NRM chairperson, Kasese District, Dr. Crispus Chionga, at Cardinal Nsubuga Memorial Secondary School in Mukunyu Sub-County.
There are more than 100 FDC and NUP supporters from Bukonzo County East in Kasese District that decided to join the National Resistance Movement, NRM, following government's intervention in extending services nearer to them. They thanked President Yoweri Museveni for enhancing security, which has been a major worry to the people of Kasese District.
I've been a stronger supporter of the FDC since 2006. But then during the time, I've been scrutinizing all government programs, and they have been clear and smart, like peace and security. Whenever we could hear of any kind of insurgency like rebellism in Congo, ADF, then government immediately could put measures and obvious peace could be achieved.
Some FDC mobilizers condemned their leaders for not coming back to address the challenges people are facing since the time they were voted into power.
I've been working with the FDC for 25 years, and we could solicit for votes and we could succeed. But nothing I'm seeing. Whenever people go, they don't bother to see where they are coming from. So they are making us something like ladders.
When you see a local person getting $1 million shilling from government, that's a good achievement. So I, as Mbabukira Paul, have decided to come back to movement, and I ask all other supporters of the movement to welcome me so that we can work together.
The National Resistance Movement chairperson for Bukonzo County East, Dr. Mande Rood, says his party continues to receive new members from opposition political parties.
We have welcomed officially a total number of
140 converts. Converts means people who are coming from other parties crossing over to the NRM party. And important to note, majority of them were from the FDC party and also the NUP, the National Unity Platform Party. And again, the function was graced by the chairperson of the party in the district, Honorable Dr. Crispus.
Now moving on, the Minister of State for Disaster Preparedness, Esther Davinia Anyukan, has urged security officers to use roadblocks to arrest sellers and buyers of government iron sheets meant for Karamoja sub-region. She was officiating the launch of the iron sheets distribution exercise in the 3 districts of Amudet, Nakapiripit and Nabilatuk.
Iron sheets beneficiaries in the districts of Amudat, Nakapiripit and Nabilatuk in Karamoja sub-region have received their iron sheets. This presidential initiative targets to benefit 2 categories of people: reformed warriors and vulnerable people in the communities. According to Amudat Chief Administrative Officer Emmanuel Oyuk Ochen, of the 9,620 iron sheets received, 2,392 will go to 93 reformed Karachunas, and the 7,228 will benefit the other selected vulnerable members in the communities. Nakapiripit Deputy RDC Augustine Modo says they received 6,526 to benefit 36 reformed warriors and 245 vulnerable people, whereas Nabilatuk received 6,188 iron sheets that will benefit 75 reformed warriors and 182 vulnerable people.
When we were given around 38, I would count up to 17, the one that I directly got involved. Even without Okwera by then and his team, I would go convince the people they bring their guns. But surprisingly, the names of those people are not there.
Persons in my district wrote their women, their shepherds, and that list of security.
LC2s are in that, and the list, I don't know when LC1 started stealing and became reformed warriors. Then there is also this other list, there are names of long-term reformed warriors, people who returned their guns in 2002 in their first disarmament process. But they have left almost every other person who returned their guns of recent.
Cannot consciously be part of the fraud. And the members of the district security committee of this district have refused to be part of fraud because we see it as an act of treason. The president told you, go and select these kind of people. You select yours. You are overthrowing the government.
The Commissioner for Pacification and Development for Karamoja and Teso at the Office of the Prime Minister, Norbert Kasirabo, promised that more iron sheets would be dispatched to the sub-region.
And even after those people have gotten, we shall not stop there. Since there are more people who are bringing guns, since there are more people also who are doing different activities, next financial year we are going also to plan for more.
State Minister for Disaster Preparedness, Esther Anyakun, urged security committees to develop vouchers for the beneficiaries to avoid confusion.
So before someone claims to say that I got back the gun, let them come with a certificate. Let us give priority.
Anyakun also tasked security forces to use roadblocks to arrest sellers and buyers of iron sheets meant for Karamoja sub-region.
The iron sheets, we are going to arrest you. We are also going to arrest the buyer, and we are also going to use our roadblocks within the region to ensure that none of these iron sheets leave the region.
President Yoweri Museveni was lauded for improving lives of the Karamojong.
Iron sheets to the most vulnerable people here in Namibias.
Now moving on, the Mufti of Uganda, His Eminence, Sheikh Dr. Ramadan Mubaje, has strongly denounced certain disloyal and defiant extremists within the Islamic faith in Uganda. He condemns their actions of sowing seeds of disobedience against religious leaders, a practice that has unfortunately permeated into other religious denominations in Uganda. This condemnation was articulated by His Eminence Sheikh Dr. Ramadan Mobaje during the burial ceremony of the late Sheikh Ahmed Mokasa in Chigobe, Luwero Sub-County, Luwero District, where he served as the chief mourner.
Allah.
Sheikh Dr. Ramadan Mobaje emphasized that the spread of unfound rumors by these disobedient extremists causes unwarranted anxiety among followers of the Islamic faith. He urged them to desist from such actions in order to maintain harmony within the community. The Mufti also cautioned Muslims against meddling in matters pertaining other religious denominations, warning that doing so may open the door for non-Muslims to pry into Islamic affairs.
Social media,
Allahu Akbar.
Wadalina ilimu efana netia nti avuma atyobola ayambalira buli kimu azihari ekyo nkibebalizamu era Allah basase
okutondera ebifo
takbir era yensonga lwaki mbawe ebifo
atwogere mukama waffe
wate banswaza kuba obusiraamu bwa busiraamu
In addition to these concerns, Mufti Sheikh Dr. Ramadan Mobaje, who serves as the caretaker to the family of the late Sheikh Twaha Nsanja Basajja Sobi, appealed to the government of Uganda to increase funding in Ugandan embassies abroad. This, he believes, would enable the embassies to better assist Ugandans living abroad who may require their support.
Ekyo kasamu kiteka ku floor ekintu ng'ekyo kyetaaga kubeera nti drawing attention. Ate si ekyo kyokka bafuna ebizibu balwala ogenda okubuuza ambasada ne bagamba nti sente tewali budget teriiwo naye nga walina kubeerawo priorities.
During the ceremony, Sheikh Musa Mukasa, the head of the Kagenda lineage in Mamba clan, played the last record voice of the late Sheikh Ahmad Mukasa for his grieving relatives. He was a younger brother to the Luwero Muslim district Kadhi, Sheikh Ramadan Mulindwa Nsanja. The ceremony concluded with a sense of loss and sorrow among those present.
Ebiseera by'okuzaayo abaana mu masomero tebiteekwa kukaluubiriza n'akatono. Eno kusimba nnyiriri mpanvu, kano kalipagano ka bidduka. Simanya kuzunga na banka siripsi. Kati osobola okusasula school fees z'omwana wo ate n'okola n'ebirala ntoko ku ssimu ye ey'omu ngalo. Ekikola kyangu nnyo. Nyiga onyizi *5*8 ogoberera ebikulagiriddwa oba okozese app ya MTN Momo. Ate kati okola ki olwaleero? MTN Mobile Money Uganda Limited erungamizibwa banka enkulu eya Uganda.
Welcome back. Straight into sports. The belated 2023 Victoria Golf Cup, which is an annual contest between Uganda and Kenya, has ended at the Par 72 Uganda Golf Club, Kitante. It was 3 days of wonder as players exhibited some of the best skills that kept many on tenterhooks.
Three days of intense competition at the Par 72 Uganda Golf Club Kitante in the 2023 Victoria Golf Cup have ended. Kenya has won the trophy on countback by virtue of being reigning champions after both teams finished level on 11 points.
We have managed to retain our title. Alhamdulillah, Ya Rab, thank you so much for everything.
God bless everyone, and thank you to the media team, thank you to the sponsors, thank you to the committee, and especially the Ugandan team for always fighting and making this tournament the best thing. We love it here in Uganda. There's always a good crowd. God bless you guys.
Uganda started the 3-day tournament on a bad note and trailed by 3 points on day one. That featured foursomes and the better ball formats that lasted 2 days. The home team recovered on day 2 to level the series to 6-all. A mature final day of quality displays in the singles category ended 5-all for the overall 11-all total. That meant Kenya, by virtue of being reigning champions, retained their crown.
Yeah, it was fantastic. Uganda's playing really good golf, and we tied the match, so we retained the cup. So I'm very happy with the team, but it was really close golf. It was amazing to watch.
For Uganda, the entire team display enthralled many that believe the future is bright.
It's been a tough week. It's been a tough 3 days, but all in all, I'm proud of the boys.
The Victoria Golf Cup is an annual contest now in its 6th edition and will have the 2024 edition later this year.
More sports talk. The Uganda Table Tennis Association 2023-24 National Leagues have climaxed with action at the MTN Arena, Lugogo.
Eight months since the first service, the first season of the Uganda Table Tennis Association League has climaxed.
Everybody wants to be in the league where they get daily facilitation. Then they are fighting for prize money as high as 5 million shillings in total prize money. So people have been inspired to know that actually the game is now very helpful to their lives financially, but also to improve their games because the league is a regular activity.
The final round action was hosted at the MTN Arena in Lugogo. Ultimately, Kibuli Senior Secondary School student Samuel Ankunda won the male category and got 1.5 million Uganda shillings, while a second-placed Benjamin Achuma of Ndeje University took home 1 million Uganda shillings.
This is what we have been saying before, and we are very thankful that when we have been given money, we are able to show the country what we can do. For example, we have a world champion now, and the money taking this world champion to all these events is the money given to us by National Council and Parliament. So this is a clear testimony to the fact that when we have our funding, we can do a lot more for the country and the players and their parents.
In the women's category, Kibuli Secondary School's Pavin Nangonzi and Jemaima Nakawala were number 1 and 2 respectively.
My tricks were, I had to train so hard because in the first leg I had no loss, but in the second leg that we have played today, I had 1 loss. It wasn't very bad, but in the first leg it was very bad because I lost one match, but in the second one I didn't get any loss.
The second season that is expected to have more numbers is to start in April.
Now bringing you more from sports, that is to do with AFCON update coming through. Captain Ronwen Williams served 4 penalties to help South Africa reach the semi-finals of the 2023 Africa Cup of Nations following a 0-0 draw against Cape Verde. Bebe, Willie Semendo, Laros Dante and Patrick Adrade were all denied in the shootout by the outstanding Williams, who also made a spectacular lead serve to tip Gilson first-time strike against the woodwork, and ensure the grilling quarter-final entered extra time. Here are the highlights.
For Cape Verde to take the lead here, and it's blocked. It's goalless between the two nations as they go in search of a place in the semi-finals. Gets the ball away. Mukwena, Mahopa, straight at the goalkeeper. Oh, lovely running by Rodriguez. One-on-one, takes the shot, and Williams is there, well positioned. Tole was there. Mukwena gets a touch, and the shot is a snapshot. And oh so nearly brilliant from Jovan, just over the crossbar of Ronwen Williams. Lovely ball in, one-on-one! Williams is beaten, he gets a little touch on it, I suspect. Goalless it is, and for the first time ever, Cape Verde will play extra time at a tournament. Youngster from Stellenbosch. Mahopa checks it down, great chance, and denied by Virginia. His first real contribution in terms of saving. Could be here, tipped over by Virginia again. Not quite a double save, but a double contribution. Flick on, Gilson Tavares again with a shot, and it's flash across the face. Mukwena, it's on target, but Virginia's tucked in behind it. Cape Verde go to penalties for the first time ever at the Africa Cup of Nations against Ronwen Williams. Denied by Williams! This from Mutubi Mvala to give South Africa the advantage. Comfortably converts. Patrick Andrade against Ronwen Williams. Williams sends South Africa into the semi-finals for the first time since 2000. He's made 4 saves in the penalty shootout.
Well, that's all we had time for this particular newscast. More news updates will be coming your later on at timely news hours of the day. Keep watching the national broadcaster. Well, enjoy your Sunday afternoon. A fruitful week ahead. My name is Sandra Kahunde. Greetings from the team behind the scene. God bless you.
UBC, inspiring Uganda.
Well, welcome everyone to the biggest game on the continent.